Where are we? Here we are.
Yeah.
Speersy, g'day. How are you?
Good to
All
see you.
right. We gotta do the thing to camera. Here we are again, Australia. Hello, my name is Patricia Karvelas, but you can call me PK. Everybody does. And this is Words for the Wise. This week we have a very special guest. The Speersy's come around to give us some of his analysis. One of Australia's, I don't think he's going to mind me saying, foremost political commentators. Speersy, welcome. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Host of Insiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You beat me to it. He's quick, isn't he? He's really quick. And you know, like that's one of the reasons why I like you so much, Speersy, because you've got sharp analysis. Your analysis is just great. Spot on. Some of the best analysis that I've ever seen. Your little Spears takes during the week, they're good. Your analysis, it's in all the forms that it takes, it's really good. I'm really impressed.
Thank you. That's a really
Unmatched analysis. It's always so good. Your analysis is amazing. It's such good analysis. It really is.
thank you. That's incredibly kind. And you know what they say, it takes two to tango.
Oh, stop it. Okay, well, let's just say we both have good analysis and leave it at that, shall we?
Leave it there for now.
Yeah, okay, good. Let's just jump straight into it. So, it's today, we're filming on the 8th of November. It's Sunday evening, and the US election has been called. Joe Biden is president-elect of the United States of America. Big news. This is big. It's huge, isn't it?
Huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. So huge. So, I mean, he's just swept in, you know, and he's taken up those seats where you didn't think, like, no one could really see it. Those Rust Belt states, those under 35s, those people who hadn't voted much before,
Yeah.
you know, progressive, angry, Black Lives Matter, etc. And, you know, he's picked up enough of them
Yeah.
who may have either not voted or voted for Trump in some kind of active, angry defiance. And here we are. He's scraped in, as it were.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that it's a lot of people who'd never voted before have voted.
It's out of control over there. Every day is unbelievable. It's just shocking. Oh, God. But Biden's in there. Trump looks like he might dig his heels in a little bit, but looks like this sort of wrath of institutions and the media and the public are pretty much sort of done with Trump now.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly telling that during that last tirade, a lot of news organisations deliberately switched him off, as it were. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, so it's almost like the issue is really, is it okay to cut people off when they're talking rubbish? And
well, people being.
I've noticed your interview style, Speersy, and you don't mind cutting people off every now and then. Like, that's certainly, you know, you might have been.
You got me.
You might have noticed a few people mentioning that on the old Twitter
yeah.
lately. Yeah. So would you cut off Malcolm if he came on and said anything a little bit untoward?
I'd find it difficult to cut off Malcolm.
Yeah. So look, let's just reshift a little bit here, folks. It's Sunday afternoon. This morning on Insiders, David Speers here. He interviewed not one but two ex-prime ministers of Australia, Malcolm Turnbull and Kevin Rudd. Now, you did really well to interview them both, keep it nice and fair. You didn't hardly cut them off at all. But there was a little bit of a backstory though, wasn't there? Because
Sure was, yeah.
a couple of weeks ago on
You better
Insiders.
not remind me of it. But...
Well, look, I mean, we are analysing here, so I'm just gonna bring it up
Go
because
for it.
you know you actually came off really well. So a couple of weeks ago, folks, David Speers was interviewing somebody on Insiders, and he asked them if they thought the coal was good or bad, and he repeated the question a little bit. And Malcolm Turnbull live tweeted during Insiders, mentioning that maybe it's not as simple as is coal good or bad, but that it's part of a complex, you know, solution as we move towards a coal-free future. And, you know, so in a way, he kind of implied that your analysis wasn't quite up to scratch. And, you know, I thought that was a little bit unfair of Malcolm. He really stuck the knife in there.
That cut me. Like, I'll admit that cut me. I think he's such a strong thinker, a strong leader. I wrote a book about the man, and for him to turn around and criticise me, that hurt a lot.
Turnbull was he's out of line.
Oh, no.
He's out of line.
Oh, no.
But let me just backtrack for a second there, because when Malcolm Turnbull was interviewing, you were interviewing him, but he almost interviewed you for a little moment there, because towards the end of the interview, he did mention your time at Sky, And
Put me on the spot, really.
he did put you on the spot. He kind of mentioned that you were in the belly of the whale, was it? Or the belly of the beast? And you know what, Malcolm? Like, that was a little bit unfair, mate. There were no bellies, there were no beasts, there were no demons, there were no horns.
I mean,
there was no weirdos walking around.
the sky has changed a lot.
Yeah. We didn't see any demons walking around with horns telling us how to analyze. We did our own analysis.
Yeah.
I hardly ever met Murdoch at all. I never saw the man. Just
No.
heard about him a few times.
Yeah.
He had editorialized pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But, still, he didn't analyze. I did the analysis. You did the analysis. And geez, you were good back in the day. Still good now. Just, mate.
I find it very hard to call Malcolm out on anything.
You do have a bit of a soft spot for him. And that's okay, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Paul Keating.
Yeah. You said that before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's kind of to the right of the Labor Party, and Malcolm is kind of to the left of the Liberal Party. So there's a sense in which they might sit next to each other in the middle and kind of rub legs a little bit.
That'd be an amazing double interview.
Oh, wouldn't it?
You set that up down the
Double header,
Threesome with you and a couple of ex-prime ministers, like, whew. Well, look, anyway, let's come back around to the news today. Daniel Andrews, the Premier of Victoria, announced 9 days in a row of 0 coronavirus cases in Victoria and the lifting of further restrictions. And I've just got to say, again, Dan, thank you for being the man. Bloody legend, that bloke, a bloody legend. Who could be more vindicated but Daniel Andrews,
Well, truly.
Yeah. And look at him now, sitting pretty with his head up his ass, probably down at his beach house. The best premier in all of Australia. And he's taken a little bit of my heart. I couldn't be more emphatic if I tried. I mean, I probably could be a little bit more. But
And so what do we do now? Do we start shutting our gates to New South Wales and Queensland and saying, well...
In Victoria?
Yeah.
I think we should.
I mean,
New South Wales, I heard there was a little bit of coronavirus up there. They got some in the sewers in Sydney the other day. We've had 9 days of nothing here. Maybe we should put up the walls to New South Wales. Make them earn it.
Yeah.
They want to come in here. We're going to be like, show us the zeros, mate. And Queensland while we're at it.
Yeah.
South Australia, they're a bit sus too.
Yeah, start questioning their leadership a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what could come over from South Australia. I hear they've got some really weird stuff going on.
Sus characters.
Yeah, they're sus as.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I trust them coming over here. We should put the borders up and just lock in, you know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you.
I don't disagree with me either. Speersy, you're a scream. All right, well, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up.
Sounds good.
It's been a pleasure as always. Your
Thank you
analysis
so much.
is unprecedented. You just ooze analysis and it makes me so happy. You're a treasure. You're a national treasure. Thank you for coming on to episode 2 of Words of the Wise. I hope you can come back in the future.
Love to.
Love
And
to.
I'd love to have you back on Insiders in return.
That would be
See
great.
what
Like
we can
next
set
week?
up. Well, we'll see what we can set up. I think next week's we're fully booked, but
Okay.
as soon as possible.
Great. Well, you let me know because I'm good to go. Like once a fortnight. I mean, I'm pretty good for a once a fortnight. You can lock me in. Like to lock that in. Happy to do it. Well, look, Australia. Thank you, David Speers, and thank you for watching episode 2 of Words for the Wise. Until next week, Australia. I'm your PK, and until then,